Hello everybody, I'm just here and welcome back to Arifureta Season 3, Episode also 3, in which I don't really know. Hajime is probably gonna start helping the Haulia, yeah, the rabbits prepare for war. Maybe. We'll see. I don't really know what exactly is gonna happen. How exactly does he intend to help? But yeah, probably some preparations are in order, so that's probably what we're gonna see. Bit of housekeeping at the beginning. I tweaked my OBS sound settings a little bit, so let me know in the comments. Do I sound better? Do I sound worse? Should I don't know, change something, get quieter, get louder, or whatever? I'm curious about your opinions, so tell me all about it. Regardless of that, what happened in the previous episode? Two things, really. The first thing that happened was rescuing the imprisoned Haulia from the prison in the... Was it the capital? I think it might have been the capital city, or whatever city it was. Rescuing them, and that was basically it. It was a rescue, and it turns out that the leader of the Haulia also took on a nice bit of a chuny name because why wouldn't he? He also got the habit of using P instead of any sort of swear words, which I'm still not sure whether it's a lore friendly way of censoring the swear words, or is it like actually in canon Hajime also uses P and they just took over. I don't know, either possibility is great, so whichever it is, it's gonna be cool. With them rescued, we got to talking about the fate of Haulia, and not only talking about the fate of other beastmen, other rabbitmen who are not exactly the member of the Haulia, and other beastmen who are not rabbitmen as well. Because if, well, if, if what? If what? Right, Haulia, their leader, can't remember his name, or I guess they all of them collectively decided that it's about time to finish end the persecution by the Empire and fight back. Essentially, start a war. Not an overt war with numbers because they don't have the numbers, but get rid of the important people. Not the Emperor. The Emperor is out of reach, but if you get rid of the people lower than Emperor, then the country is gonna be plunged into chaos because the Emperor, whether he wants it or not, needs to delegate. And if there's nobody to delegate to, well, everything just kind of falls apart. There is a way to cut off the head without cutting the head off, right? Just slice here and not here, and it's gonna kill the snake all the same, right? So that's essentially their plan. Shia, yeah. Shia is of course opposed to that, right? She doesn't want her her family, essentially her clan, to risk it to, get murdered by the Empire, but she eventually gets convinced when Hajime promises to help. Although with the caveat that he's not going to help directly, which makes perfect sense. Because if he were to help directly, and then he would go away, be it to his OG world, or to clean some other dungeon, labyrinth, or to do whatever else, then the Empire would bounce back and immediately start harassing the Haulia again. And it's not just the issue of the Haulia, because the Haulia might be able to withstand it, right? To stand up to the Empire and maybe even win all those skirmishes. But to the Empire, it makes no difference whether you're Haulia or some other tribe of beastmen. Beastmen are beastmen. So others would suffer for what the Haulia did, and we can't have that. And the only way to avoid that is when it's Haulia themselves, perhaps with the help of other beastmen tribes, kicks the Empire's ass. so that the lesson the Empire gets is not don't fuck with Haulia when Hajime is here, but rather don't fuck with Haulia, period. Or don't fuck with Beastmen, rather, in general, period. That is the goal of this whole entire campaign, which again makes a surprising amount of sense, really. And yeah, and so I don't exactly know fully properly what's gonna happen in today's episode. I believe the title has something to do with the princess, right? And maybe the princess is gonna get involved in the war somehow. Maybe she's gonna be held captive, held hostage, and Hajime will have no choice but to get involved. Maybe she's gonna try to start peace talks, and the Empire will not want it, and they will make plans to assassinate her. I don't know. Something's gonna happen with her at the epicenter of it, and we're just gonna see what it is exactly, right? So I should probably just watch the episode, right? We should probably just watch it and see what exactly is gonna happen. So to do that, you're gonna need your subs, of course, as always, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear the show. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube, down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word. It costs nothing and helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching Arifureta Season 3, Episode 3 in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah. Oh, right. There was also the whole entire bit with Power Rangers and Shizuku really not wanting the pink mask, but also wanting the pink mask. Yeah, she's the first one. You get the main wife privileges. Yeah. Let them see. Let them watch. uh, just be open with your feelings. Amazing way to start an episode. I'm watching the soundbar on OBS, seeing what it captures and what it doesn't. Uh, my biggest motivation in changing the settings, sound settings in OBS, was that I noticed that it sometimes doesn't capture the like quieter things. I had it wasn't a limiter, or no, something else, noise gate. Yeah, I had a noise gate set up pretty high, and I noticed that it cuts off like laughing and all those like quieter sounds or breathing loudly through the nose when something's happy, when something's funny. And I kind of lowered the sensitivity, so it might be capturing like me breathing or me drinking. So I wonder if it's too much of a bother, if the benefit is that you can hear more of what matters, or should I actually just crank it back up so that you don't hear me swallowing my saliva and stuff. Yeah, the princess's ordeal. Are we gonna be following Liliana in this episode? At least for a bit, it seems. Who are you? A green-haired fuckboy who's probably hoping to marry her? Probably, let's be honest. Chances are he's gonna die at Hajime's hands. You could say that. You could say that, yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. He doesn't seem unreasonable. That's good. And a life. Oh, a marriage. A political marriage. Yep. Probably not. He probably needs a bullet to the head. Gee, I wonder who could it be? Yeah, we're rolling with the masks being stupid. Gee, I wonder who could it have been? Uh, true. Yeah, it's not like they changed their armor to disguise themselves. Gee, what gave you that idea? Oh, I'm sure there's no relation. I mean, he's in the forest after all, not in the city. But see, they all escaped. No, never heard of them. uh, she can play the political game. Gotta give her that. Not even a spit take. Yeah. Yeah. No relation, I'm sure. Huh? Whomst? Okay. Sure. Why are you here exactly? With Hajime in tow, no less. Just half a grid? Not even a whole grid? Don't fuck with Shia. No. Hmm. Well, you're dead. Maybe not right now, but soon enough. No, she thinks being with Hajime makes her safe. And she's correct in that assumption. She's not his to give. She's not anybody's to give. No need for fisticuffs. I was hoping for at least a punch or something. No. What gave you that idea? We're here to evacuate you so that you don't get slaughtered by accident. Sure. Plausible story. Uh, there's not gonna be masks this time. No. I love the music choice for this scene. Hmm. What have they really come here for? That's the question. To tell him that, free the beastmen or get fucked? Or. Uh, he knows when he has to use proper protocol. Okay, that makes things easier. And not just one. Among others, yes. Also correct. What right do you have to require them? Yeah, might makes right. Probably yes, the most likely outcome. What's a god to a non-believer? All around the place, really. Of course. Completely unwanted. She is off limits, though. That's actually right. None of them have blue hair. There's nothing to take a look at. Oh. No clue. No, I can make better. Also that, yes. You make shitty prisons then. Want me to make you some mortar? Oh, straight answer. Yeah. The prince is here? Or something? No. Oh, cool. Everyone's invited. I mean, politics. Probably. I mean, she's royalty. She's probably been, you know, learned in those matters since she was a child. Not in the slightest. But yeah, it's a political marriage. Solely and purely. And your ideals don't change that, really. Yeah, sure. But the needs of the kingdom take precedence. Yeah, exactly. So, what was the purpose of their visit here? Just to show off before the emperor? I mean, yeah. Yeah, the empire might not be in a stronger position much longer. Chances are it's the empire who's gonna have the grovel before Lily, rather than the other way around. Why is the timer not. Fuck. The timer didn't start again. And I didn't notice. Terribly sorry for that, but it is what it is, I guess. Well, he's not a pleasant man, so it's, par for the course for him. Perfect time for the Howlia to assassinate him. Just saying. They're not gonna be the ones coming in, I don't think. Because he's scum. Simple. There's not really any other reason. And he's a bit of a sadist, yes. Credits, right? They're gonna cliffhang it. Maybe not. You're gonna start shooting web out of your wrists now. Some sort of a new gadget of Hajime's? Just a sleeping poison? Or a poison. Poison, hopefully. I fully expected that to be the end of the episode. Yeah? Hide in the crowd. That's a very bridal dress she's wearing. The red wedding. Or the red engagement party. Hmm. Ended way too soon. uh, with how things are going, it might very well end up with the Emperor dead as well. Then again, if Hajime doesn't get involved, then probably not. The Emperor does have plenty of good bodyguards, so I mean, I assume good. We don't really know that. Okay, then. Episode 4, The Empire versus the Strongest Rabbits. Yeah, about exactly what I expected. No surprises there. Let's watch it again, shall we? Again, super sorry for the timer. I didn't check and it didn't start, so we're gonna have to sync up the video with my 3 to 1 as usual. Hopefully, it's not too much of a bother. Right. Of course, bit of a nice tender moment between them. And you can immediately tell from his design alone, he didn't even need to smirk. You could already tell he's scum. Just from his punchable face and punchable hair and punchable earrings and punchable hair color and punchable eyes, that he's gonna be scum. And then he smirked, and I was certain. uh, all dead. Yeah, I mean, it certainly did weaken the the kingdom. Yeah, I don't know what to think of the emperor. Like on one hand, he's not unreasonable, right? Like he sees that okay, yeah, my allies, well, my kingdom, my kingdom, the neighboring kingdom is in a bad shape. They need some help. If that kingdom were to fall, that would also mean trouble for us because they are our trade partner, they are shielding us from whatever, so it would benefit my empire to keep that kingdom alive. And he sends his forces to help. Cool, right? And immediately thinks of how to reveal that fact to the outside world. Do we reveal it as an alliance, as a vassalage, or how do we frame it, right? We can't tell other nations that the kingdom is very weak and that's because we did it, right? We gotta figure out how to play it well politically. Cool. It's just an engagement, yeah. Bios is who he is, but you're a princess too. It seems to me that the Emperor doesn't have particularly much love for his son, so he probably wouldn't mind his brains being splattered on a wall somewhere from Hajime's hand cannon, or Shia's kick, or whatever. And also, he's not stupid. He knows that those facts are probably connected. Yeah, bunch of random people, one of them wielding a holy sword and dressing kind of like the hero. I don't know, maybe he was the hero. I don't know, I'm not sure. They appeared talking about better conditions for the beastmen, and then a bunch of beastmen disappeared. They were freed from prison. Maybe there is a connection, right? Yeah, I like that he's not stupid. Cool. Means he will be able to recognize defeat. I think, right? He's not like, I don't know, Zolzal from Gate, right? Trying to play hard ass until the very last moment when he gets a sniper bullet whizzing past his ear. He will recognize that, oh shit, all of the nobility in the country is dead. My son is dead. Yeah, the empire ain't much of an empire anymore, and we are on equal footing with the kingdom, or maybe even slightly below. So things have changed, and I need to still do best by my people. So if it means sucking up to the kingdom and maybe proclaiming Liliana the empress and becoming the vassal of the kingdom, well, it is what it is. Maybe, right? I have a feeling that he will be reasonable, fairly reasonable at least. Yeah, describing the rabbits, of course. Yeah, one of his companions happens to be a beastman, connecting the dots really, really well. I still have no idea what their visit here was supposed to achieve. Honestly. Like, they didn't know about Liliana's engagement, so they wouldn't know about the party, so it's not like they came here counting on being invited to the party. I don't know what their goal was here. I really don't. just to meet up with Liliana, but they didn't really talk about any like crucial important bits with her either. So why? Yeah, once the Haulia are done with their part, I have a feeling that Hajime, Shia, and Yue are gonna have some fun with this guy, with the prince, and maybe with some other people as well. Something tells me that's what's gonna happen. Another smart person, knowing not to fuck with Hajime. Uh, what in the world are you all doing here? Very good question that I still have no answer for. Oh, an audience with the Emperor, yeah. But what for? Intimidation? Showing the Emperor, like, palpably that he can't be fucked with? I'm not sure. This whole entire scene, this exchange with Liliana, uh, it really showcases something that I mentioned in the previous episode. How it's a show that really takes itself seriously, but the characters are not serious. Not all the time, at least. Right? Because they are having a serious conversation, but Hajime is just incredibly quippy here, and this is what creates the funny here, and not the absurdity of the situation, for example, right? Like Liliana is reacting reasonably to what happened, and not comedically in any way. Cool. And just like that, an audience. Can you create artifacts? Yeah. You gonna give them? No. Why? Who's gonna stop me? Yeah, exactly. Who's gonna stop him? We'd all get massacred on the spot. Yeah, probably. Give me one of your girls? No. Well, maybe Tio. But yeah, no, not her. Certainly not. Don't know anything about the toys. I don't care about the women and children. I. It's kind of badass that they broke out, but I wish I was there. But alas. Uh, yeah, you wouldn't know of any such thing like that? No, absolutely not. That's a delicious tea, by the way. Ally with the Empire? Give me a way to my OG world, and when I go back, I'm gonna, like, drink a beer for your health. That's about it. Yeah? Impossible to purchase. Doubles as the engagement party between my son and the princess. Yeah. And again, again, Koki shows his idealism, right? He is an idealist through and through. Marriage should only be out of love. No other reason, no political marriage, no arranged marriage, none of that. But the question is, even for the price of the kingdom? Right? Like, she's gonna marry into this family to save the kingdom, essentially. And would you rather she not marry the bastard and allow her kingdom to fall? Would that be better in your eyes, Koki? The happiness of one person versus the happiness of the entire nation? What's the balance in your eyes here? He can't find the balance, right? Like, in Koki's eyes, and I mean, this is what being an idealist is ultimately. There is no, like, picking between two different evils. You always have to pick a good. And when there is a choice between Lily is happy but the nation isn't, versus nation is happy but Lily isn't, it just does not compute. I want Lily to be happy and the nation to be happy. What do you mean one excludes the other? What? No. Does not fucking compute. Right? That's what Koki is. I wonder. I wonder if over time he becomes more grizzled. I don't know how much is left until Arifureta didn't end yet, right? The manga, the source material, or the light novel rather. Right? The source material is a light novel, I think. Yeah, manga is still coming out. Don't know about the LN. I wonder. I wonder if Koki changes over the course of it. And meanwhile, Liliana knows perfectly well what she's getting into. I'm royalty, it's only natural. Probably since she was old enough to comprehend language, she already was told that, you're gonna marry one day politically into some sort of a kingdom or empire or whatever for the benefit of our nation. And this is your duty, and this is something that only you can do, right? And this is something that's gonna happen. And Hajime understands it. Just politics taking the form of marriage. Instead of signing a pact or an alliance declaration or forming a union or whatever, it's marriage. That's how it's different. It's no place for us amateurs to object, absolutely. And she is correct. This might not be that big of an issue. It might very well be that a marriage like that would not actually benefit the kingdom, but rather benefit the empire, and suddenly Liliana is in position to negotiate. Right? Maybe instead of a marriage, we can just sign a pact. How about that? Or maybe the empire can become a vassal of my kingdom and I will be crowned an empress. Right? She's gonna have some more pull if the Howlia plan goes as it should. Yeah, I mean, she does look pretty. For sure. Yeah, that would be the next king should something happen to Liliana and she's not quite old enough for that. He, the boy, her brother. Brother? I think so. Yeah, he's not a pleasant man. He really isn't. Like full and proper scum with not even any like reason for his actions, right? It's not like he hates Liliana or anything like that. He just sees it as entertainment, right? He doesn't have a good and proper. I mean, there can't really be a good and proper reason to do that, right? But he doesn't even have any sort of a reason whatsoever in his mind. Like her her kingdom killed my mother and I will exact revenge or whatever of the sort, right? None of that. It's just entertainment for him. The biggest scam there is. Unfortunately, it was probably just a sleeping potion or sleeping acupuncture or something. Hopefully he doesn't wake up until the time of the party, so that Liliana will be safe-ish in the ballroom by the time he wakes up. Because if not, then he's gonna try again and again and again and again, and Hajime won't always be there to save her. So we either got we gotta take care of him somehow. Either break him or just get rid of his head. The fenestration would also work, I guess, or a kick to the skull. Various ways to get rid of him, really. US dress looks very, very bridal, right? Like with the hair things that would normally come in front of the face and then revealed, and you can kiss the bride, right? With the white roses. It really looks. It doesn't look like a ball dress, like a party dress. It really looks like a bridal dress. It really does. Meanwhile, the Haulia are coming. Party no Hajimeru da. Uh, cool. And the next episode is The Empire versus the Strongest Rabbits. And that's exactly what's it gonna be. That's gonna be a bit of a shorter episode, I think. 45 minutes barely. It's gonna be under an hour. Damn. I see I can get concise if I want. uh, that was a good setup episode. It didn't um it didn't achieve that much on its own, I don't think. Especially with me being really confused as to why Hajime and the gang made it to the Emperor. I still don't know what was the reason behind that. But it certainly established few important things, right? The kingdom is in a bad shape and it needs an alliance with the Empire. Unfortunately, the cards are stacked against the kingdom, so it's Empire who gives them their demands in exchange for help. And the demand is political marriage in this particular case, right? We know that the marriage candidate is absolute scum and no one's gonna cry when he's dead. We know that the emperor knows that Hajime and the hero and their entire group was probably responsible for breaking out the Haulia, for all those things, but he doesn't have like proper proof. And he's trying to insinuate things, but nobody's falling for that. But because they're not falling for that, he further confirms that, yeah, it was probably them. We are establishing the stage for the Haulia, and it's a very good opportunity as well because a lot of important people will be there during that ball. So you get everybody in a room, so you can very easily get rid of everybody who matters. The emperor will probably be very quickly escorted out and hidden, or I don't know, teleported out or whatever. But the lesser barons and viscounts and princes, probably not. And as they said, it's Liliana's marriage might not be that much of an issue soon enough, because first of all, there might not be anybody to marry, which is perfectly plausible. And second of all, the Empire will be in a much different position than it was when the negotiations started, and it will be the Empire who will have to grovel before the kingdom. I feel. I feel that's how it's gonna change. We also have it established that there is still more Haulia, or not necessarily Haulia, but more beastmen, more rabbit folk at least, still imprisoned somewhere in the palace, in the castle. So we will probably save them as well. Yeah, it's a good establishing episode. It tells us that the emperor is not stupid. That's an important bit, right? He's unlikely to like charge at Hajime when the jig is up or do anything stupid like that. He will recognize his failure. He will recognize what he needs to do to limit the losses, right? And he will probably be even willing to sacrifice his son for that because he doesn't have that much love for him, I don't think. Like, he knows what kind of a man he is, and he doesn't necessarily approve. That's the vibe I got. So I can easily see Belial, or whatever the fuck his name was, the green haired fuckboy, running to his daddy for help, and the emperor's like, no, I don't know you. Hey, Hajime, you wanted him? Take him. I like, take him. Just, spare my life. Right? I can easily see that happening. It's gonna be cool. The next episode is gonna be great. The next episode and the one after that are probably gonna be, up there. Not that this one was bad or the previous ones were bad, absolutely not, but they were more of an establishing thing, and now, right, the slow climb, and now We're gonna get the climax. Now we're gonna see shit hit the fan, defecation, hit the ventilation, whatever you wanna call it. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be glorious. It's gonna be great. And that will be about an arc, right? Episode 4, 5, episode 6 of a break, and then next. It's 16 episodes there. Maybe 3 arcs in the span of this season. Could very well be. I don't know. We'll see about it in future episodes, but right now, I think that's gonna be it from me for today. But maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. If so, say so in the comments down below. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Arifureta, but also Dandadan Mecha Ude Mahonare, Shangri-La Frontier Season 2, Mao 2099, plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified of when I go live, because I do go live sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you nothing and helps the channel a lot. And with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: Cubies, Rainer, Yuki, Alai, Dr. Watt, Akamonster, Marsh, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to marry politically.